triple-double.
Gordon knocks down another.
Three-point champ.
The Cavaliers have just set the NBA all-time record for threes with 25.
It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's LeBron James!
The beard is falling right now.
James Harden, he's my MVP at this stage.
Welcome to NBA Sunday, presented by State Farm. Tonight at Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, a big-time matchup. It's the Rockets against the Cavaliers in their second and final meeting of this season. Time to take a look at tonight's starting lineups. They are brought to you by Jameson. NBA fans certainly happy to see the Cavaliers on the second half of a back-to-back, playing their guys. Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, Iman Shumpert, Richard Jefferson, and Tristan Thompson round out that starting lineup. For the 45 and 21 Rockets, a backcourt of James Harden and Patrick Beverley with Trevor Ariza, Ryan Anderson, and Clint Capella rounding out their starting five under Mike D'Antoni as we check in with Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, this game featuring two MVP candidates in LeBron James and James Harden. And they also represent a bit of division on how to define MVP. Is it the best overall player, which many argue is LeBron James, or is it the player having the best season, which Harden has been in that conversation for the majority of the year? Now, when I asked Harden how he defines the MVP, he said a little bit of both. But you have to be a top team. Cavs are first in the East, Rockets third in the West. And it needs to be obvious how valuable you are, which applies to both, as the Cavs haven't won without LeBron this season, and Harden has had a hand in nearly half of the Rockets' points this year. Guys?
Yeah, the Rockets have certainly relied on James Harden, and meanwhile the Cavs 0-5 this year when LeBron has not played.
You can feel the energy in this building. A lot of times here in Houston, crowds are a little bit quiet to start the game. Not tonight. They understand what's at stake here. Two great players. And let's not forget Kyrie Irving. Averages 28 a game in his 8 games against Houston. He's had big moments here.
Most against any team, and the second most all-time against the Rockets. Only Michael Jordan with more as Harden misfires. But Capella keeps it alive. Trying to back in on James. Up, under, and in for Clint Capella.
It's going to be a real key tonight for Cleveland. Second chance points. You would think of it, the Rockets are 5th in the league. They get almost 15 a game.
Here is Irving around 2 screens. Now we'll give it up to Shumpert. Shumpert pushes it up and off, and Capella the box out.
I thought Shumpert had an open 3 there. He passed it up and ended up taking a much more difficult shot.
Harden is open. Too strong. Follows it up. Goes into the lane and lays it in, and that is one of the keys to this game. Mike D'Antoni talked to us about, said we are going to see a lot of long rebounds with all the threes these two teams shoot.
That's why everybody's got to get back. Your guards, your wings, they got to get back at those long rebounds. That's 2 now. 4 second chance points here for Houston already. Oh my.
Kyrie Irving somehow was able to swivel that in over Capella.
You know, that's sort of become his patented move now, being on the right side, going underneath the baseline, swooping, kissing that ball off the glass with the proper English.
Just so dangerous, finishing at all angles. Here's Harden with 8 to shoot. We'll give it up to Ariza. 4 to shoot. Ariza will. No. And after it hits the top of the backboard, it comes down to Jefferson.
Now, the Rockets shoot 43s a game. So anybody who has not seen them much this year, they make 15. So first in the league in both those categories.
As Irving cans the triple, Cleveland is second in the league in both those categories. There is a wide gap, though, between 1 and 2 as Capella can't put it down, and here comes Irving jetting ahead. Got stripped from behind by Beverley. 4-on-2 developing for Houston. Hard in the lob, and Capella won't get a chance because it's an offensive foul against James Harden.
Nice play by Richard Jefferson to step in. That's a running freight train coming down the floor. Both he and LeBron will see a lot of that tonight. Little step-up screen, little shake off the dribble, hesitation, gets on that baseline, and then gets the other side of the rim where Capella could not block his shot.
Irving has scored at least 20 in 14 straight games.
Cleveland wants to make sure they value the ball tonight. Rockets very good turning people over and getting points off turnovers.
Shumpert too strong. Thompson the rebound over Beverley. finds Irving. James will fire and hit. LeBron James, 9th in the league in scoring, 5th in assists. Has been on a tear since the beginning of February. Good movement here to Anderson. He got it.
Well, they just spread you out, drive and kick. Anytime Capella gets the ball, it's going to be on a rim run, a lob, or an offensive rebound. He's not going to look for be a primary post player, but that's the way this team loves to play. And he's a perfect center for them.
James, not that time, and Capella the rebound. Rockets looking to push. Jefferson, another good defensive play in transition, this time breaking up the feed.
LeBron James, who's shooting the three almost at a career level this year, almost 39% he's shooting. Very confident when he makes jump shots, and you got to guard him now. It opens up his game driving to the rim. Better get up on Ryan Anderson. You got to make him dribble the ball. You can't let him catch and shoot. A little bit like Dirk Nowitzki. You got to make him put it on the floor.
Timeout, Cleveland. Metro PCS, well, the Rockets and Cavs, two proficient three-point shooting teams. Cavs with a record 25 made threes on March 3rd at Atlanta. They are second in the NBA in three-pointers made per game at 13.2 of them. Meanwhile, Houston on pace for an NBA record 14.7 threes made per contest. And they set an NBA record on December 16th when they launched 61 threes against New Orleans. And so far in this game, there's been 14 shots combined. 9 of them have been threes.
Well, the Rockets outscore their opponents by over 14 points a game at the three-point line. So anytime you play them, I think you got to keep that under single digits to give yourself a chance. Otherwise, that's a lot of points to try to make up right.
James isolated on Harden, looking to muscle him into the lane. James fading away. He got it.
Both these guys so strong, powerfully built. Just great feet, good balance.
Mike D'Antoni likes to describe James Harden as a low-to-the-ground running back. The way he's able to avoid bad contact and take the contact he does end up drawing when he gets to the free throw line. As Beverly flips it up and in high off the window, exploiting the switch.
Yeah, I think Tristan Thompson actually got a piece of that. There's another turnover, unforced error here as Cleveland tried to push that ball ahead. Patrick Beverly a little off the wrong foot, gets his body in there. It looked like right there might be got just a little bit of a piece of him, and not enough to deflect it where it didn't go in.
Beverly's such a huge part of what Houston does. On and off the floor, a glue guy for them as Harden draws the whistle in. He is better than anybody in the league at that.
One of the keys when you play against Houston, not only defending the three, but keeping Harden to single-digit free throws. The first time they played, he took 14 free throws in that game. Had 41 points, got to the line 14 times.
How about this, Doug? Since Harden joined the Rockets in the 2012-2013 season, he has 465 more made free throws than anybody else in the league has attempted.
Well, see, the one thing he does is when he gets in there, he moves that ball around, not away from contact, but he makes you foul him. You've got to be so disciplined and show the referees your hands on all those plays.
Good decision by Thompson, and Jefferson with the reverse flush.
See the bounce in these guys tonight. They played last night in Orlando. I know Orlando's not a great team, but you played there last night. Guys played some heavy minutes. They fly in here today. Or excuse me, got in late last night. So nice energy here by Cleveland in a back-to-back.
36 minutes for Irving, 38 for James last night in the win against Orlando. Snapped a 3-game losing streak. Shot clock at 6. Harden too short. Beverly the offensive board. Tees up Ariza. No, Capella keeps it alive. And Doug, this is what you've been talking about. The problems for Cleveland keeping Houston off the offensive glass with these second chances.
And you know who they miss? They miss Kevin Love, who's their best defensive rebounder. So a lot of talked about Kevin Love and his three-point shooting and all that kind of stuff. We talked to T. Lou before the game, said we missed his rebounder.
They're just 9 and 8 without Love this season. Ariza stopped on a dime, flips it out. Beverly fires. Too strong, and the long board to Thompson. Here comes James, full head of steam with the spin, and he got taken to the ground. LeBron James will shoot a pair.
Long shots, long rebounds. Good luck trying to guard him in the open court. Same thing with James Harden. They're fast, they're strong. What just move here? The spin move going full speed, taking the contact. I think LeBron is not doing great this year. He's not shooting the ball well at the free throw line, only 68%.
74% in his career. His numbers since the 1st of February have been outrageous. Over 27 points per game, over 9 rebounds, over 10 assists, shooting it at 59% from the floor and 49 from 3.
Well, you know, we talked about them in January. They were 7 and 8. I call that the cranky month in the NBA, where guys are testy and not got to the All-Star break yet or whatever. 9 and 2 in February and 2 and 4 here now in March. So they've been up and down here a little bit.
Harden splits the D, lays it home.
A lot of switching going on right now. T-Lou told us before the game they're going to try some different things, but anytime James Harden has gotten Tristan Thompson on him, he's driven that ball right to the rim. Wanted to try and make Houston play some one-on-one with that switching. Irving harassed by Beverly, gets it back from Thompson, finds Shumpert. Too strong on his 3, and the rebound batted into the arms of Harden. A 15-14 lead for Houston halfway through the first. What a shimmy from Harden, and then blocked at the rim, nearly went in, could not, and James controls. Great play by Tristan Thompson.
James, 1-on-3, just bowled into Ariza, and that was an easy one.
Well, Ariza is a very good defender. This time he reads the play nicely. LeBron, I thought maybe was going to try to spin once again, but once he got that deep and going that fast, he couldn't get himself on balance. So nice play that time by Ariza. We've seen Richard Jefferson take a charge for Cleveland. Now we've seen Ariza do the same thing for the Rockets.
Third turnover for Cleveland as Eric Gordon and Nene will check in for Houston out there with Anderson, Ariza, and Harden for the Rockets. Eric Gordon having an outstanding season off the bench. One of the 6th Men of the Year candidates, along with his now teammate Lou Williams. Here's Harden giving it up. 6 to shoot. Roll to Anderson. Working the post, fading away. A rare mid-range attempt for the Rockets.
Yeah, he's going to get a demerit for that.
Jefferson to the rim, lays it home.
How about Richard Jefferson after the championship last year? He thought he had enough and was going to retire with that ring. He's come back, and he's been a big part of their team this year, especially with a lot of the injuries.
Starting with Love out. Ariza will peel back, give to Harden. Ariza off the bounce. He got it. Beautiful looking stroke from Trevor Ariza. Second assist for Harden, who is 0-3 from 3. Ariza had missed his first 2 before that make. Rockets 3 of 9 as a team. Irving gets the step, nearly fired it out of bounds, saves to James. Too much on it, and the rebound bats to Nene.
Rockets doing a nice job corralling those rebounds that are bouncing out to the free throw line.
Harden gives it up. Nene can't put it down. Great contest from Shumpert.
When Nene looks in good shape, man, this is the thinnest I've ever seen him look.
What a handle from Irving, who then magically puts it home.
Now, layup king. I've said it before, he's the best below the rim layup maker in the NBA.
Ariza with another 3, and the scoring picking up in Houston.
Well, when you play Houston, you know how many games are average, you know how many points are averaged between the two teams? 223 when you play them. So just sit back and watch. The last time they played, it was 128 to 120. Kyrie Irving, man, he's just got a great handle. Just can get wherever he wants on the floor.
For the upcoming NBA national TV schedule, full slate of games across the NBA networks. Doubleheader on TNT tomorrow night, Spurs and Hawks. Then the Lakers at Denver. NBA TV Tuesday, Cleveland hosts Detroit. Golden State entertains Philly. And then ABC Saturday, it's the Cavs at the Clippers at 8:30 Eastern. For more on these games, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app.
I'm going to promote my own game on Wednesday night. It's Milwaukee at the Clippers. I'm looking forward to seeing Milwaukee play. They went through a tough stretch. They're back playing really good basketball. And Chris Middleton and his shooting, very important. I think Milwaukee has a great chance to make the playoffs.
Red hot, they've moved into the 8th seed, won 6 in a row. Here's Irving, guarded by Harden.
Do they call it self-promotion?
No, yeah, but it's about the league, too. I think you're too altruistic for self-promotion. as Irving just pirouettes right around Harden for 2.
Now Lou Williams is in the game. How about his first game? Didn't know any of the plays here. Mike D'Antoni put him in. Let's just see what you do. Well, he only hit 7 threes, 27 points.
Meanwhile, Irving has 9 on 4 of 4 shooting in this first. Gordon gets it back to Harden.
Once again, a switch with Tristan Thompson.
And Harden finally buries a 3 and missed his first 3 attempts. James Harden, 3rd in the league in scoring, 1st in assists, as Doug outlined in the open, 15 triple-doubles. He leads the league with 51 double-doubles. Irving trying to take Gordon. Will fire around and off, and a nice job by Williams to guide the rebound to Harden. Here's Harden now switched on Thompson.
He's punished this matchup most every time they've done this.
Ariza needs help, goes backdoor to Harden, extra feed Nene, can't lay it home, and the rebound pushed over to Shumpert by Thompson.
James really
having
up on
trouble with it, and Ariza able to steal it.
taking a challenge, beautiful play.
Harden, too strong.
You know, I've been in the NBA 43 years, Rod. I would pay to watch this game tonight.
Yeah.
This is a really high-level game between two terrific teams.
James spun free, out to Smith. No, and Lou Williams the rebound.
Lou Williams, when he comes at you, he loves to go left, and he's great at getting contact.
Like that.
Like that.
Lou Williams will earn his way to the line. Harden and LeBron, two MVP candidates, already pouring it in the first.
Because averaging a triple-double, he is the MVP.
Kawhi Leonard, who's been amazing.
I think he's the best two-way player in the game.
Look at the way James Harden is playing. It's winning basketball.
As far as I'm concerned, he's the league MVP. Right now, if I were voting, I would vote for LeBron.
He's the MVP of the league every year for me.
Well, we want your vote. Who do you think should be the NBA MVP? Russell Westbrook, Harden, James, or Leonard? Log on to Facebook.com/NBA on ESPN to submit your vote. You know, naturally, now I put you on the spot, Doug, and say, well, if you had a vote, who would you go with?
I can't vote right now. There's too much at stake here coming down the stretch as Gordon knocks down another three. That's 6 for 13 from three. They're plus 12 already here early in the game. How about their shot selection round? 8 shots in the paint. They've taken 13 threes. 1 mid-range shot that Ryan Anderson took with the step back. It's amazing the way they play.
They had a game where they scored 140 points, took 98 shots, only 1 was in the mid-range. As Irving tried to exploit that area, could not, too short. Williams in transition, flies in, blocked by Irving, couldn't finish a second time. How about Nene? Hesitating, denied by Shumpert. What a defensive effort from Cleveland. Irving behind the back in traffic. Decker got his hands on it, and a foul against Houston.
Boy, you see Lou Williams going to the rim. Great defensive play. Second effort. Look at the Rockets on the board, pounding. Unable to finish. Shumpert with the nice block. Or the energy by both of these teams, amazing here early in this game.
Irving draws 2, trying to shake free, finds the open man into the corner. Williams attacks the closeout. Thompson powers it down.
Now he was going to say that was an assist. Was it an air ball or was that really, or was that a pass?
We're going to find out from the official scoring of it because I'm not sure of the intent.
That's your buddies. I figured you would say that was an assist.
Sure, it was an assist
there you go.
And it was officially as Gordon drains the 3. And the Rockets with an 8-point cushion.
How about this bench now? The Rockets have the 2 leading 6-man scorers in the NBA now. Eric Gordon and Lou Williams on the floor at the same time. I say the rich get richer, Ryan.
They have really solidified that second unit. And Shumpert got blocked by Nene, but Thompson is there to clean it up. Meanwhile, you talk about trying to keep Houston just at least around the same numbers as you at the three-point line. They're 7 of 14 from 3 as Shumpert strips that out of bounds.
The one thing you got to be really careful is when you play the Rockets, and I thought it happened with the Bulls the other night, you get seduced and to start trying to beat them at their own game. The Bulls are the worst three-point shooting team in the NBA. They took 39 threes the other night against the Rockets. You will not beat them if that's not your game.
Harden with Williams guarding him. 6 to shoot. Harden got hit. And it's going to be 3 free throws for James Harden. And he is better at this than anybody in the NBA. Once or twice a game, Harden is fouled shooting a 3.
You've got to keep your hands up. Look where his hand is down. That once James sees his hand down around his waist, that's an automatic trigger for him to go up and do his shot. Remember what Kevin Durant used to do? He used to rake that ball out in front of him, and they changed that rule where they did not give him that as a natural shooting motion. That was a natural shooting motion there. That was not exaggerated to draw the foul. He saw his hands down, took the ball right into it.
Right, not side to side horizontal, but vertical instead. Hey, our NBA Wednesday doubleheader starts in San Antonio with Kawhi and the Spurs hosting the Blazers at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks are at Staples to battle Chris Paul and the Clippers. Doug will be there. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 7. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Well, LeBron is coming back in for this last possession. 20 seconds to go. Tyronn Lue trying to maybe steal a basket here at the end of the quarter. What coaches do, the amount of decisions you have during the course of a game, you got to stay on top of this. One possession could be the difference in the game. Let's see if LeBron can cash in.
James Harden with 11 points, 5 assists. Rockets have their largest lead. Cleveland 0-8 in road second halves of back-to-backs this season. James with 5 left in the quarter. Makes his move, muscles inside. That was too easy for LeBron James. Here's Lou Williams, he'll heave it. Nearly banked it home, and that'll end an entertaining first quarter in Houston. The MVP candidates combined for 20 points. Second quarter action is coming up next.
It's time for tonight's coaching interview brought to you by Popeyes, and I'm here with Cavs head coach Ty Lue. And coach, you told us you're going to do some different things against the 3 defensively. We've seen some switching, but how would you assess the execution on that end?
Well, the switching has been good. It's just a transition, not getting back, getting matched up, offensive rebounds, kick out for 3. And Ryan Anderson made 2 that, you know, he's 4 feet behind the line, but we know we got to get to him and make him put the ball on the floor. So we got to be cleaner with that.
You guys haven't won on the second night of a back-to-back on the road. So what is the plan going forward in this game energy-wise?
To win. That's the only plan we got.
Short and simple. Thanks, Coach. Ryan, Doug, back to you.
All right, Cassidy, well, Patrick Beverly can't float that home. Doug, that's something you've talked about. When Ryan Anderson's out there, even though it feels like he's way behind the line, can't just let him fire as Channing Frye buries the long 2.
I used to have an expression defensively, you got to play him as if he's used his dribble used. Get up on him and make him put the ball on the floor. But Beverly just really attacking. He's missed a couple drives.
Darren Williams through the legs to James, has the angle and the flush. And a timeout taken by Houston. Strong start to this second for the Cavaliers, and Mike D'Antoni wants to talk about it.
Well, when you get him this kind of open court run, you're not going to stop that. LeBron, brilliant.
Doug, I know you love this. This is the Terrell Morey analytical basketball that Mike D'Antoni and the Rockets employ, where they get their points from.
Well, this is the recipe, how they score. You see the three-point line, 21, in the paint, 8. Free throws 4. They have 33 points. They've only taken 1 2-point field goal. How about the story Mike D'Antoni said they took a game and broke down. They had 3 mid-range shots they had taken. They put the guys' pictures up who took the shot as Eric Gordon, and they told the guys that, you know, those are bad. There was only 3 the whole game, but guys' pictures were up where the shots were taken. I thought that was a great story.
Meanwhile, as Williams fires and hits the 3, we saw James Harden going back to the Houston locker room. So we will get an update on his status as soon as there is any news to report. He turned his ankle in the win against Chicago, but came back in that game, played really effectively as the Rockets blew out the Bulls. As Williams misses, you know, the interesting cap to that story you just told, Doug, is James muscles in for 2. Was Lou Williams was one of the 3 guys who took one of the mid-range shots. And he said, Coach, my defender, he fell down. I was forced into it. And Mike said, all right, you know what, you're new here, that's okay. But they do not want those mid-range looks as Cleveland's on an 11-0 run. They have a 2-point lead, but Gordon ends it with a one-legged floater.
Well, Darren Williams is getting better. You know, when he came here, he was not in great shape. He hadn't played much. He'd had the All-Star break, and he's starting to get his legs about him. Had his best game last night, in the words of Tyronn Lue against Orlando.
He also told me he's starting to find a routine for how to stay warm and fresh coming off the bench, not something he's typically used to in his career. Fry with 2 to shoot, gonna have to heave, nearly put it down, wedged off the window. Decker, give it up. By the way, James Harden, normal maintenance, just staying loose, so he is fine as Decker can't get it to drop, and Williams flags down the board for Cleveland. Here comes Williams. A lot of zip in his skip. And a foul underneath as Decker and Thompson, or make that Fry, got locked up. The foul goes against Sam Decker.
See, what they'd like to do with Deron Williams is take some of the ball handling responsibilities away from LeBron, especially with that second unit. LeBron was having to be that anchor because of the injuries and all, and it gives so much of his energy that he has to expend doing that. Get him off the ball, and he doesn't have to worry about playing against those kind of defenses.
Williams using the James screen, and that's going to be a foul on Trevor Ariza. Second team foul against Houston, and the first personal against Ariza.
That's a game plan when you play against Cleveland. What are you going to do on that 1-3 screen roll with Deron Williams, or if it's Kyrie Irving? Houston's trying to really belly up on him. He reads it and he goes back door.
Now finds Smith. Excellent ball movement here. Back to JR. He'll fire. Around it off. Then a good box out. And rebound there. As Ariza nearly threw it away. Then James was waiting. Williams leans in. Can't hit. And here comes Deron Williams giving it up in transition. 2-on-1. Smith behind the back to Derrick Williams for the flush.
J.R. Smith coming off a good ball game last night as well. Here's Capella in the paint. All of a sudden you see J.R. Smith starting to get his legs back. You know, people don't realize you can stay on that exercise bicycle and do that elliptical all you want, but until you get out there and start running and get your rhythm back and stuff, the first thing that goes is your legs, and then secondly then is your jump shot.
And he's on a minutes limit, somewhere in the vicinity of 20, as Williams doesn't get the roll. Both teams firing away from deep. Houston 7 of 17. Cleveland 3 of 12. Ariza, no. Beverly couldn't hang on to it. And another one of those long rebounds. This time the Cavs gather it. Williams trying to burst by Beverly. Got his hands in there. So good defensively, able to pickpocket Williams. Beverly on the other end. To the corner. Ariza attacks the overplay, puts it home, plus the foul.
Right, when you look at the percentage of what Houston is shooting right now, they're only shooting 37%. But one of the things that's really helped them, they've gotten 8 more shots at the basket because of Cleveland's turnovers and because of their offensive rebounds. 7 offensive rebounds, 4 turnovers. So Cleveland's shooting 57% from the floor. But also, too, when you take 15 threes, you know, your shooting percentage can be down. You can shoot a lower percentage. But because you get 1.5 points there for a 3, you can shoot a lower percentage. And right now, Houston is doing what they do, attacking, getting to that rim, free throw line, shooting threes. And there you see it right there. You can see the difference in the shooting breakdown.
Houston #1 in the NBA in free throw attempts per game. They are 3rd in makes as Williams couldn't hit, and a whistle. It'll stay right here. Loose ball foul against Houston. That'll be their 3rd team foul this second quarter.
One of the things, if you're going to play Mike D'Antoni style, you've got to have the personnel to do it. And Daryl Morey in the offseason, when he knew he and Les Alexander, the owner of the team, knew that Mike was going to be the coach, they went out and they got Eric Gordon. And they went out and got Ryan Anderson, 2 great three-point shooters, to boot with James Harden. And then they've gone out to get Lou Williams, another guy who can shoot the 3. So there's Les Alexander, who's been a brilliant owner here in Houston, won some championships.
Shumpert spinning, got fouled, and Capella is called for the personal. Shumpert will shoot 2. You know, Doug, you're talking about Mike D'Antoni and how the pieces just fit here for him. It's interesting just talking to him, right? Because you could see he just loves the unity and the symmetry that there is top down in this organization right now. And he talked about how even though he had success in Phoenix, there was always this feeling like they weren't fully jumping in the pool. Because if they had a game where they struggled, all of a sudden the players are hearing from the media, hey, you can't win this way. And now Mike D'Antoni's starting to question, can we win this way? But Mike D'Antoni points to the Warriors' success and all the analytical departments in the NBA now as giving him that foundation of confidence to know, hey, no, it works.
But he also understands, too, to win, you better have a top 10 defense. And in Phoenix, they did not have that. And I think he realizes that. He brought in Jeff Bzdelik to run his defense. And, you know, you can put up all these points, but at the end of the day, it's like Cleveland right now. They're 23rd in defense. Come playoff time, if they want to win a championship, they got to do what they do last year. They got better because they're better when you don't play back-to-back and you can game plan.
That's how Cleveland improved their D in the playoffs. Meanwhile, Houston ranked 15th in defensive efficiency as Beverly cans the triple, and Houston back up by 4. They've led by as many as 9. Cleveland zapped out with an 11-0 run at the start of the quarter. Jefferson in the corner. Splash!
I tell you, he is really playing well. I wasn't sure how much bounce he had in his legs a couple years ago. But Richard really looks good. He's in great shape and gives him a good defender to play multiple positions.
He's 3 of 3 from the floor as Gordon can't connect. Shumpert skies in for the board. And now a fan has run on the floor. And that is going to stop play for a moment. As security tends to him. With 6:24 to go in this second quarter. And Houston leading by 1. Hey, ESPN Tournament Challenge is back. The #1 bracket game. Head to ESPN.com/bracket or download the app to fill out your bracket and follow your picks from anywhere. Be sure to make those picks before the brackets close on Thursday, noon Eastern. Doug, I want to congratulate you. Your son, Chris, leads Northwestern to their first ever NCAA tournament. What a remarkable achievement for that school and the Collins family.
Oh, thank you so much, Rye. You know, anytime you make history, pretty special, and I'm really proud of Chris and his team. You know, those kids believed in him when Richard Jefferson, once again, we talked about how it's his first recruiting class. They believed in him and his dream and his vision, and to see that happen today in Evanston was special for a daddy. I'll tell you that. I love his team. I love those kids like they were my own family.
An 8th seed in the tournament as Anderson was online again, but just couldn't drop that one in. Cavs a 2-point advantage. 9 lead changes in this first half.
Great
Irving,
pass.
oh, what a look, and it sets up the ball movement, and back to Irving. You bet! Excellent possession from Cleveland, and a timeout for Houston.
How about you make the great pass that starts the chain reaction, and you're the one who becomes the recipient. So watch this beautiful pass, great movement of the ball, you help to the corner, you swing it, guess who gets the shot? Beautiful basketball, Kyrie knocks it down.
Sunday, presented by State Farm. The Cavs on a 9-0 run with a 5-point lead on the Rockets in Houston. A wonderful moment earlier today for the Collins family and so many of our colleagues who are Northwestern alum, as they found out it was official, their ticket to the school's first ever NCAA tournament booked, an 8th seed. Just an incredible accomplishment. The 23-11 record, a school record. They'll face Vanderbilt in the first round in Salt Lake City. As you see the reaction, I mean, knowing you share this living with your son, what you did, he does. What kind of emotions overcome you as you saw that reaction today, Doug?
Well, that's unbridled joy right there. That's when you just, you know, all you've worked for. And understand the thing about Chris is he's had a lot of wonderful moments at Duke through the years, winning championship, but this was extra special, something that had never been done, and he had a great teacher, not me, Coach K.
I think he probably had a couple of good teachers. Harden over to Ariza, was stripped by Irving, and it hit Ariza's leg. So out of bounds to Cleveland. How does Houston get back on track here in this second, though?
Well, what Cleveland's done is a nice job. They've gotten better defensively here. They've stopped turning the ball over, and their offensive efficiency has been very good. So Rockets need to buckle down here defensively as Channing Frye with a wide open 3. So that big disparity they had at the three-point line is starting to dry up right now as Cleveland now is starting to knock down some long-range shots.
They're on a 12-0 run. Harden trying to end it, and guess what? Fouled on a 3 again.
You and I were talking about that before the game today. These guys are getting so good at screen roll when you're fighting over these picks. They feel you on your hip, and if you reach in at all, watch this, you're fighting over, and James Harden feels that, you get your hand down, and you say, well, he barely touched him. As a shooter, if you nick a guy's elbow, they shoot an air ball. That's how it can be. So don't look at it and say, well, he didn't hit him very hard. If you hit a guy on his arm, it's going to take his shot and really push it to the side.
Cleveland is on a 14-3 run since LeBron James left the game. Remarkably, that doesn't usually happen. Now, James Harden has scored or assisted on 56.2 points per game. Tiny Archibald's record of 56.8 is within reach for Harden. That's how dynamic this season has been for the MVP candidate.
Both lefties, one big and strong, the other one lightning quick. And I saw a lot of that lightning quickness. Like a lot of those points as Richard Jefferson is on fire, but Tiny Archibald got a lot of those against me when we play Kansas City.
Jefferson 5 of 5 from the floor. He has 13 points. He's 3 of 3 from deep. Harden can't answer. Long board to Williams.
Also, too, Cleveland's coming back, getting those long rebounds now, and it's triggering them to be able to get out and get the open floor.
Irving draws 2, finds Jefferson alone again. You bet! Richard Jefferson cannot be contained in his second quarter.
He's having an Arizona flashback here right now.
16 points. He's 4 of 4 from deep, 6 of 6 from the floor. Harden loses it. Cleveland in control.
And you're buying all this with LeBron resting.
Found money.
This is where Darren Williams is so important. Now he could run this second unit. You put him out with Kyrie, and you got 2 playmakers on the floor that can make so much happen.
Cleveland has made their last 6 threes in the last 3 minutes. Irving a step back. Not that one. Nearly, but couldn't get it to pop home. Here's Harden, cut between 2, finds Nene for the much-needed flush.
Well, one of the things when you play Houston, though, they can hit you so quickly, and Tyronn Lue realizes that. He's going to stop the game here. Does not want Houston to get on any kind of roll here going into half.
I think it's very important to encourage kids to get outside and get involved with different activities. Being healthy is definitely fun because you feel better about yourself. You feel better about your appearance. You have more energy. I would just encourage children to get out and get active.
Well, coming up on the Toyota Halftime, Michelle and Jalen will take you around the NBA, break down a battle of the MVP candidates here in Houston as LeBron James and James Harden going at it, but it's Richard Jefferson who's starring. Already a season-high 16 points for Jefferson. He's 6 of 6 from the floor. Meanwhile, Cleveland went on a 20-7 run while LeBron James sat as Irving nearly spun it home, did draw the contact.
This was a great thing that LeBron just did. I was just watching him. They started to run a play, and they switched it, and they put Ryan Anderson on him. And I watched LeBron. He said, no, 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 you take him. So they spread the floor so he could go one-on-one. They had run a play, and once they got that switch, and that's what I talked about, that 1-3 pick and roll with LeBron. If you're going to switch that, you're going to make sure you can keep Kyrie in front of you. And in the second quarter, the difference, Ryan, you wonder how they made this up?
Yeah.
Plus 15 at the end of the first quarter at the three-point line that Houston was. Now Cleveland is plus 3. That's an 18-point swing at that line.
Cleveland 7 of 11 from 3 in the second quarter. And once down 9, the Cavs lead by 12. As Cassidy told us earlier, 0-8 on the road in second halves of back-to-backs this season. Nene to the hook, floats it in.
They're really trying to keep his minutes down. He could be a very big part of this team. As I said before, he looks to be in great shape. They don't want to play him in back-to-backs. They'd like to keep his minutes at about 20.
James pushed off Ariza, finds Thompson, and Cleveland with 10 assists to just 1 turnover in this second quarter.
Well, Houston has not been able to keep that ball in front of them. They're getting in the paint, causing all kinds of problems.
Nene trying to use his size on Jefferson, and he hooked him. Offensive foul against Nene.
offensive foul. The Rockets 42 today. That is his first.
Keep the ball out of the paint when you play Cleveland. If you don't, look what happens. Nene steps up and put Tristan Thompson down. We call that in that dunking spot on the baseline, a little bit hash mark down. You hide behind the defense. Defense cannot help up. When you help up, that's what happens. 13 points, a couple of rebounds, a couple of assists for James. 14.6 assists for Irving. Jefferson with 16 points. Harden with 13.7 assists. James right around Ariza to the rim, and it's been too easy for LeBron James getting to the hoop. You think LeBron's trying to show who's the MVP of the league? Gordon with an answer on the other end. Gordon! Don't believe when they play against, guys like this or whatever, say, listen, I know all the chatter, I know all that's going on. I'm still the best player. And he is. James trying to take Nene. Right around him to the rim, lays it in, puts the foul. LeBron James exhibiting all angles of strength here in the second. Got to try to make him be a jump shooter. I know it's easier said than done. And he is getting in that paint and going to work. Once again, the switch. This time it's Nene. Feels the contact. He can go left. He can go right. He can go over you. He can go around you. He can go right through you. Yes, that's true. 7 of 9 from the floor. 17 points. Misses the free throw. That's the only part of his game, and you pointed it out before, Doug, that struggled this season is free throw shooting. Harden, very sloppy in this second quarter. Rockets currently the 3 seed in the West. Harden harassed by Irving, gets it back. Jefferson closes out, but Harden sticks the landing. That's a big basket right there. It looked like Cleveland's trying to get a little separation. That cuts it back to 11. Can they get a stop and get it under double figures going into half? 16 points for Harden to go with 8 assists, 3 rebounds. Irving lobbed it, knocked away. Here comes Houston. Gordon gives it up. Nene nearly traveled but was hit in the lane. And the foul goes against Cleveland. Cleveland did have a foul to give.
Cleveland foul number 2, Kyrie Irving, his first.
First personal on Irving. Nene, Harden, Gordon, Ariza, and Beverly the 5 for Houston. Here's Harden. Lob to Nene as the switch on Irving and exploits it. Great play by James Harden. We talked about LeBron and his basketball IQ. That was a great play, the switch. Realizing Nene had Kyrie buried under the rim. Gets an easy 2. Irving switched on Nene. Looking to shake him. Irving with Nene holding up nicely there. A hand in the face of Irving. Oh, and he still hit it. Well, that's when offense trumps good defense right there. Nene did everything. Kyrie gets too good on that play. 16 for Irving. Cleveland 15 of 21 in the quarter. What a wise 2-for-1 there from Harden. He let it roll all the way to center court, and they quickly finished it. And you see him get his body into Tristan Thompson so he can get in there and block that shot. About a 3-second difference, game and shot clock. Cavs will wind this down. Houston should still have a little time. Thompson lost it. Grabbed by Beverly. 7 to operate. Beverly finds Gordon in rhythm. Off the mark. Another try. Gordon gave it up. And the clock runs out on this opening half. That's when you should have taken that mid-range shot right there. I think he's so ingrained to get it out for the 3. And instead, time ran out. Well, the Stars are certainly scoring. James and Irving quite efficiently in this first half. A 9-point deficit for the Cavs in the second quarter turns into a 9-point lead at the half for Cleveland. Stay tuned for the Toyota halftime. We'll join Michelle Beadle and Jalen Rose after these messages.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by the United States Postal Service, Priority You, and Universal Pictures' The Fate of the Furious, in theaters April 14th.
Welcome back to NBA Sunday, presented by State Farm. Getting ready to start the third quarter. in Houston, and the Cavaliers with a 67-58 lead on the Rockets. As we welcome you courtside at Toyota Center, Ryan Rucco alongside Doug Collins. What a second quarter for the Cavs. They had a 9-0 run at one point. Then they had an 18-2 run at one point, and we saw plenty of Kyrie Irving and LeBron James throughout that entire first half.
And we saw efficiency. That was what was really the key. 63% shooting, 67 points, and Kyrie and LeBron combined 13 of 18. This was that beautiful play. Just watch the chain reaction. How you can't catch the ball once you start now trying to chase it, and everybody making the extra pass. They're going to try to get to Richard Jefferson. Boom, he moves it. Darren Williams moves it. Multiple playmakers. Kyrie with a beautiful shot, and then my man Layup King right here with the floater after the great ball handling, and then LeBron just bam bam, just taking it into the paint. Look at his strength, his power, this energy. This is on a back-to-back, and you can't tell me that this game doesn't mean a little bit more to these guys, understanding that 33 points, look at their efficiency, 8 assists, and when these guys are on top of their game, they're tough to beat.
Meanwhile, it was a quick start for James Harden, then slowed a little bit, but you look at the hand he's had in the offense, he still had to do a whole lot of everything for Houston in this game.
Yeah, well, everything starts with him, and he was efficient as well. He had his hand in, what, 41 of the 58 points, 9 assists. Spacing the floor, getting to the paint, knocking down a 3, 2 for 7 from the three-point line, and it's that that play you said at the end of the half there, Ryan, 2-for-1 possession where he let the ball roll, got it to the rim, but defensively they gave up 41 points in that second quarter. They're going to have to keep that ball in front of him, contain him, to get in the paint, and all kinds of problems have happened for them.
Let's check in with another proud, happy Northwestern Wildcat today. That's Cassidy Hubbard.
Oh, yes, I am a proud and happy Northwestern alum, but I just had a chance to speak with Mike D'Antoni about that three-point battle, and he says we can't give them so much airspace. In addition, he wants them to switch more, but he said the key to this game has been points in the paint. He said the whole game is really that, because that's the only battle they are losing, and they said they need to weather the storm and just start finishing, guys.
Well, to that point, the Rockets shot just 12 of 24 in the paint in that first half, whereas the Cavs were 15 of 17 in the paint, a +6, 30 to 24 points overall. Here's Jefferson, finds the streaking Irving, and just like that, Doug, another easy bucket in the paint.
Well, they're spreading them out, and you're just beating them, with just quickness to the rim right now. Houston's got to keep that ball in front. Anytime you let that ball get behind you or get into that paint, once again, it just bad things happen for the defense. There's a point-blank shot missed by Capella.
That's exactly what Mike D'Antoni was telling Cassidy. Stopping into the paint on the defensive end, finishing on the offensive end. As Shumpert connects on that long two. And the Cavs lead is 13. Ariza hits his hand last, out of bounds, off of Houston. Take a look at the conference leaders. Washington has crept up on Cleveland in the East, as the Cavs have dealt with some injuries, still waiting Kevin Love to get back. No Kyle Korver in this game as he deals with a foot issue. And Houston right now pretty firmly cemented in the 3 seed. That is much too strong for much too far away for Irving.
If you break down the Rockets' record, it's pretty easy. They're 27-4 against sub-500 teams, 18-16 against the better teams. So they've done a great job all year long of beating the teams they're supposed to beat us. Ryan Anderson this time puts the ball on the floor and creates a little space up. Remember, early in his career, he used to post up a lot, get in the paint. Now he's a floor spacer.
He said playing in this style is also a leg saver.
That's true.
Sitting behind the three-point line, nailing threes. Anderson hit his first 2 attempts of this game. He has 8 points total as James cashes in on a tray.
Well, he just talked about airspace right there. He had a chance to just take the ball and lace up the seams and check the air in it before he shot, and Ryan Anderson was so concerned about him going around him.
Ooh, and Trevor Ariza looked like got hit in the face, and obviously in some significant discomfort. You always worry about the eye whenever you see that.
You know, I say this all the time, Ryan. I'm shocked that guys don't have more eye injuries.
I mean, the way guys are reaching for the ball, going to the rim here, you see Tristan Thompson, you know, coming down and swiping across his face. I'm just shocked. I guess guys' reactions are so good to get away from it. Remember all those years Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wore those goggles, and you can see he's tearing up a little bit in that left eye.
Yes.
Now see, he's got to shoot these free throws, because if he doesn't, he can't play the rest of the game.
That's right. If he was deemed too hurt to shoot them, then the Cavs would get to select the shooter for Houston, and then
you know what's going on here?
Ariza would be out.
Cleveland's upset. They're feeling they're giving him a lot of time for his eye to stop tearing up, or they're saying, let's shoot the free throws. They're not happy with the officials here.
They want him shooting them when that eye is filled with water.
Exactly.
You can see Tyronn Lue has been dealing with his own issues of late. Bad ear situation and cold and then vertigo. They take a look at the upcoming NBA national TV schedule. A full slate of games across the NBA networks. TNT tomorrow night. Atlanta at San Antonio. Lakers at Denver. NBA TV Tuesday. Cavs host Detroit. Warriors entertain Philly. ABC Saturday. It's the Cavs and the Clippers. For more on these games, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Doug, you know what it's like to deal with vertigo. What
yes, I do. I had
it dealing with right now.
I had it for 6 months, and talked to T. Lue about it a little bit before the game, and be real careful getting up off that bench too quickly.
James working on Anderson again. Will fire a three again. Nearly got it to drop. Ariza scrapes up the rebound. Here comes Houston.
Waiting for Houston to get on a run.
Haven't found that rhythm since early as Harden spins that in.
Well, to get on a run, you got to get some defensive stops. I talked about it in the first half. Cleveland shot 63% from the floor and almost 48% from three. You're not going to get any runs taking the ball out of the basket. Defensive stops.
Harden's third three. He has 21 points. A game high. James has 20 right now. Irving. High rebound. Grabbed by Harden. Harden. Shoulders away Irving. Flicks to Ariza. On the drive. And now Houston will reset. Harden slings it to Beverly. Good movement here to Anderson in the corner on a three.
Boy, that was beautiful basketball. Tyronn Lue going to take a timeout. Find that little run I was talking about. Let's see if Houston can keep it going. 8-0 run.
You're waiting for a little burst from Houston. They've done it with their three-point shooting.
Well, they got a couple defensive stops, and then James Harden just sort of steps into a three. This is a beautiful pass. Looked like he was going to throw it to Capella. Last moment, he hit it to the corner, and that driving kick, baseline drift. You feel that short three-point shot on that corner. You see the shot clocks right here. By the stat sheet, has Rockets taking 2 three-point field goals. Our stat sheet has, or that little shot chart has 3.
Maybe that one right at the free throw line is in the paint.
Exactly.
And that's what Houston does. Three-pointers, shots in the paint, trips to the free throw line. Not a lot in the mid-range. James trying to exploit the size of Beverly, who was up in his grill. Shumpert can't make the pay. Here comes Beverly, working around Irving. Ariza on the move, got clipped. And Trevor Ariza will shoot 2.
This is a guy who just recently had gotten to the basket and got his eye hit. It looks like it's sort of clearing up a little bit, but once again took that ball right to the rim.
Ariza in the third year of his 4-year, $32 million deal, 73% from the line on the season. Hey, our NBA Wednesday doubleheader starts in San Antonio with Kawhi and the Spurs hosting the Blazers at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks are at Staples to battle Chris Paul and the Clippers. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 7, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
You know, not a lot is said about Trevor Ariza and his importance. I don't think people realize what he does. He's defending right now against LeBron James. He makes threes. He's a really good, solid player and a great teammate.
Well, he was talking about this particular group. He said, we address our problems right away, and then we communicate with each other. And it's such a difference from how this group was a season ago, as James and Beverly getting into it, and Beverly called for the personal.
Well, let's face it, last year was a very disappointing year for the Rockets, and especially James Harden. James came back. He was not in great shape. Team got off to a very bad start. He was going to use training camp to get in shape. He hurt an ankle. He had a down year, went from being second in the MVP, as Kyrie the second in the MVP, to last year not even making one of the top 3 All-NBA teams. He came back with a vengeance this year.
James kicks to the corner. Shumpert in rhythm, pours it in. And just like that, 5 straight from Cleveland, and the lead is back to 10.
Well, bad play by James Harden. He made a unforced error, and LeBron made him pay for it with a corner 3 off a pass.
4th turnover for Harden. This time, flipped it up wildly. Loose ball corralled by Thompson. James motoring, kicking. Irving can't hit. And Capella flies in for the board. Harden around a screen from Anderson that Shumpert did not take kindly to. Now Harden breaks down Jefferson but meets Thompson, and then James, what a wise play as he poked it away from Beverly to control. On the break, Jefferson, Irving, back to Thompson. He'll hook it home. Great unselfish basketball. In the lane, the extra feed proves fruitful for Cleveland.
Well, Ty Lue right now has got to be very happy. His team is playing with a great edge.
Beverly finds help in Ariza. Into the corner, Anderson alone. He got another.
You better not leave him, that corner 3.
Ryan Anderson with 4 threes. He is 4 of 5 from deep.
I want the NBA to experiment the D-League taking away the corner 3.
They may do that at some point.
I would love to see what the game would look like if you took away the corner 3. I think teams would run for layups and dunks more and not just run to the corner.
Irving in the corner. Can't hit. Capella pokes it away. Nice job by Clint Capella. Beverly trying to work on James, just stood him up. And you can see the defensive engagement in this game. Harden can't hit. Capella pokes it home.
That's what he does. Offensive rebounds, rim rolls, shot blocks. Never wants the ball in a primary post position. Plays his role perfectly for this team.
James barrels into Harden, commits to the air, still had enough on it to get to Shumpert, but it traveled. And Patrick Beverly is fired up after the defensive play as we take a look back at that tip from Clint Capella.
Well, one of the things that the Rockets do well is offensive rebound, second chance points. Almost 15 a game, or I talked about it before, which is 5th in the league. They start out this game with about 3 offensive rebounds that they scored off of.
And they're a +7 in offensive rebounding in this contest. They're 10th in the league in offensive rebounding percentage. Harden around Thompson, comes it home. Timeout Cleveland. Back and forth they go. A 7-0 Houston run, and it's a 5-point game.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Cleveland, and in this game, Michelle, James Harden and LeBron James, triple-double threats. Both performing for their respective teams. Houston currently on a 7-0 run. James motors in. That's an offensive foul as Ryan Anderson takes the contact.
Number 23, LeBron James, his second.
Like I was watching us play, Ryan Anderson's eyes were bigger than saucers as he was squared up there with LeBron. He just guessed right, because there's no way in the world that LeBron's quickness can't go around him. He got on that right hand and was able to draw that foul.
4th turnover for James. Houston had a 9-0 run. It was answered by a 7-0 run from Cleveland, and now a 7-0 run from Houston. Harden working around Thompson again, takes him to the rim.
So strong. It's one of the things you worry about with Cleveland a little bit. Tristan Thompson is not a rim protector. He will come over and try to give help, but they do not have anybody back there that can protect that basket.
One of the reasons they wanted Andrew Bogut, as Shumpert can't hit on the 3. Of course, Bogut fractured his leg 58 seconds into his first appearance for Cleveland. Reports that they are talking with Larry Sanders now about adding him to the squad. Harden, a three. Short. And James controls the rebound. Smith with a ton of space. Can't put it down. Thompson had great position inside and drew the foul on Capella.
Well, because he sprinted down and got down to that baseline, he got himself in behind Capella. Two guys who bring a lot of energy. How about in this era of resting players or whatever, Tristan Thompson, how many consecutive games has he played now?
I believe it is up to 427 now. We'll get you the exact number, Doug.
How about AC Green? How many in a row he played for the
Harden. The lob inside to Nene, who was hugged aggressively and fouled.
This fourth quarter is going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. The last time they played, Cleveland had a 43-point fourth quarter to win that game by 8.
Nene. Give it up to Harden. Harden right to the rim again, and he is just going to the hoop at will in this third quarter.
Better get on that left hand. 3 times now he's beaten Cleveland to the rim and scored left-handed layups.
By the way, 435th straight game for Thompson. As James fading away, puts it home.
The stars are shining tonight. 22 for LeBron, 20 for Kyrie. James Harden, what does he have now, 27?
Anderson can't connect. Nene amongst 3 Cavs jerseys does. Great feed from Gordon. To Ariza, who couldn't finish. Nene again with the activity, though. Keeps it alive. In the corner, Gordon. Halfway down, no. Anderson can't clean it up. 4 opportunities for Houston, but no fruit at the end of that labor. Nice movement here. Irving trying to take Harden. Irving denied by Harden, and then Irving fouls Harden.
Who said James Harden doesn't play defense? He took the challenge right there on Kyrie Irving. Kyrie gave him all kinds of moves behind the back, low dribble, tries to fade here, and James Harden said, none of that.
Number 12.
And on the offensive end, let him get going north-south. Good luck.
3-point Cavs lead. They've led by as many as 14. Houston led by as many as 9 in the second quarter. Lou Williams around the Nene screen. Finds a reason for the tie. No. And Houston another second chance opportunity. Gordon lays it up and off. Another loose ball controlled by Houston. How about Williams? Finally!
Well, if I am the Rockets, I'm hugging Nene right now. He's doing all the dirty work around the rim.
Well, the Houston Rockets on a 14-2 run have tied this game at 83.
Well, Nene, 3 great hustle plays here. And not going to get credit for anything, just keeping the ball alive. You give team multiple shots. Lou Williams finally gets one to go down in the first half. He really struggled to get himself going, but he's one of those streaky guys. He can throw in 4 or 5 threes in a row. You see the emotion from James Harden, and as I'm thinking right now, if you're Tyronn Lue, you've got to give LeBron a little rest here to be able to finish this game. So with 2:09 to go, what can the Rockets do with LeBron on the bench?
The Rockets with a +12 advantage in offensive rebounding. James on the bench right now as Smith can't hit. Now remember, Cavs had a 20-7 stretch where they outscored Houston with LeBron on the bench in the first half. Harden couldn't finish, wanted the whistle, didn't get it. Cavs can push 5-on-4 with Harden trying to jog into the front court. Now he does. Darren Williams guarded by Lou Williams. 8 to shoot. Irving draws 2. Great pass out of the double to Derek Williams on a 3.
That's a big shot, as I said before. How much time can you buy for LeBron to get him some rest to be able to finish this game with the energy he's going to need to beat the Rockets here at home?
James played 38 minutes last night in a win in Orlando. Nene. Ooh, the finesse from Nene.
I really like the way he's playing. He's got a nice role on this team. Comes in, he knows he doesn't have to, float through any time or rest or save any energy, play all out. He's only going to play 20 minutes.
8 points, 5 rebounds for Nene. Irving stripped by Gordon. Triggers a fast break for Houston. Ariza. Cleveland got back nicely there. Williams and Smith, and then Gordon draws the foul on J.R. Smith.
Well, Eric Gordon does a beautiful job here. He gets beat on the drive, but watch him reach in at the last minute and strip that ball away. You got 3 playmakers on the floor right now for the Rockets. This is a tough lineup to defend. You've got Eric Gordon, you got Lou Williams, and you got James Harden, who can all make plays. Ariza can shoot the 3, and you've got Nene to set screens and get on the offensive boards. This is a tough group here the Rockets have on the floor, Ryan.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they went and got Lou Williams to shore up any loose ends on that second unit. Hey, get all the help you need with 24 hours of bracket coverage like you've never seen before. Tune into ESPN's Tournament Challenge Marathon. The fun starts Monday at 7 on ESPN. Time to fill out your tournament brackets. Because, Doug, even though there are a lot of things that the Rockets liked about Corey Brewer, he is not a threat from 3. Lou Williams certainly is, and that's the difference that's made this second unit whole for Houston.
And he gives you great versatility. You can play so many different ways with Lou out there. Big lineup, small lineup.
Irving couldn't squeeze it in. Thompson keeps it alive. Irving flips it back, and Thompson got whacked by James Harden. And Tristan Thompson will not shoot 2. That'll be a foul on the floor. Houston had 1 to give.
How much have you seen of the Rockets this year?
Quite a bit.
A lot?
Yeah.
You see the numbers here in this quarter, whatever. Houston, it was a 41-point second quarter for Cleveland, 30 here in this period. But Houston is a lot better than I think people are giving credit. I think they think they just sling 3s and all that kind of stuff. This is a team that's going to be tough to beat in the playoffs.
Harden comes up with a steal. Harden to the rim. 29 for James Harden.
They average 19 points a game off turnovers. Second best in the league.
Williams can't hit. And that ends the third quarter for Houston. A 21-5 run to finish this frame. They erase a 14-point deficit and lead by 4 after 3.
Great play by James Harden. Read his eyes. A beautiful finish here. Nice run by the Rockets to end the period.
Welcome back to Houston. I'm here with Rockets head coach Mike D'Antoni. And coach, you emphasized to me the need to take over the battle and the points in the paint, and you did that. What did you like about what you saw in the third? Well,
I thought we switched well and we sat down and guarded. You got to guard your guy. We did a better job. We finished a little bit better. We can still do a better job there, but good quarter.
It was a back and forth quarter of runs. Offensively now, what is your focus to close this one out in the fourth?
Well, James did a great job, so now we got to continue that. He's going to take a rest right now. Might not be very long, but we got to continue doing what we're doing.
Thanks, Coach. Doug, Ryan?
Well, we'll see how long Mike D'Antoni could go without James Harden as a game-high 29 points. LeBron James, meanwhile, back in. Cavs were outscored by 4 points the final 2 minutes of the third with James on the bench. Houston on an extended 23-5 run that James ends with that triple.
Those kind of shots will make Mike D'Antoni get James Harden back in the game sooner than he would like to.
Third 3 for James. He has 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Nene on a nice delivery from Lou Williams, and that's the playmaking you're talking about with Lou.
Yeah, Lou is, when I had him in Philadelphia, he was my leading scorer. He was my go-to guy in the fourth quarter. He get to the line and make plays for it. He's a terrific player.
James switched on Beverly. Beverly, you could tell, loves this challenge. Here comes the double. James chucks it. Good movement. Williams put it on the floor, got the whistle on the shot. So Darren Williams will go to the line.
LeBron James got a little rest at the end of that quarter. And you're going to see him, Nene, squaring him up. Want to keep that ball in front of you. I know that's a
Tough shot, but still in the nays. Got to make him shoot long jump shots. If he makes those shots, you can't guard him.
Mike D'Antoni was talking about that with us before the game. And he said, look, when it comes to LeBron James, and you see what he's done over his last 3 games now, looking for a 3rd straight triple-double, he said, you know, you try and make him a jump shooter, but you do that knowing, yeah, there's a good chance he's going to hit those jump shots, but that's just the only choice you have because he's so good. He said, it seems like every time I try and make him a jump shooter, he hits everyone he takes. Here, he's a defender. Coming up with a steal on Williams. Into the corner. Smith. Cutting through the D. Hooks it up and in. Difficult shot. J.R. Smith puts it home, and it's a 1-point game.
Looks like the dream shake on that play right here. We're in Houston.
Gordon. And cash in, and a chance for Cleveland to jump back in front. 10 lead changes in this game, 8 ties.
Cleveland scores here. I think you're going to see Harden back in the game.
Fry puts it in from 3. Timeout, Houston. And that may be exactly what Mike D'Antoni has to do, Doug.
Boy, the ups and downs of this game. You leave a guy open, he's going to bury it. Cleveland now back up by 2.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm, here to help life go right. And in part by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Reese's, perfect.
Monday, we'll have the exclusive live announcement of the 64-team NCAA Women's Championship field at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN with a bonus hour of coverage at 8 on ESPNU. The gang will break down each region, the NCAA Women's Selection Special, also streaming live on the ESPN app and to watch ESPN.
I'm going to really go out on a limb here, and I'm going to take Gino Auriemma and the UConn women. You can have the field.
Over the years, that's not a good bet for me to take, Doug.
Well, they've only won about 200 straight games. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, seriously. Beverly alone with an answer. Ends the 7-0 Cleveland run, and Houston is back in front.
Isn't it amazing? LeBron sat down. They got on a 4-0 run, and in the quarter now 7-0 when LeBron comes back. First possession, Harden's in. They hit a 3.
Harden is a game high plus 19. James over to Fry. Fry's been red hot from 3 of late. Was run off the line there and ended up traveling and turning it over as we take a listen into both coaches wired for sound.
Defense, keep getting stops. Listen, don't go hit some shots. We can't get crazy. Play our game. Over the long haul, we'll be going to be all right.
Here is Harden. Flipped it up and off. Certainly the Rockets able to weather the storm. Cavs were up by 14 early in the 3rd as James missed it left. Houston had a 9-point lead in the 2nd that Cleveland erased. In the corner, Beverly. Not that time. James with 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Has his pass stolen. Here comes Harden, and he's fouled by Darren Williams. James Harden was trying to sell, was in the act of shooting, but clearly on the floor, and it will be a side out of bounds for Houston. Houston, #1 in the NBA in points per possession on side out of bounds as well as plays out of timeouts. Certainly speaks to the mind of Mike D'Antoni.
Absolutely, and your personnel as well. When you've got a guy like James Harden that can make something quickly happen, and you get all those shooters out on the floor, so it's a combination of terrific coaching and terrific personnel.
Harden with Smith on him, trying to go around him, lob to the rim, and at the apex, Capella was fouled. Capella had to go way up just to get a fingertip on that delivery. And Capella, I believe, is going to shoot 2.
They're going to call that a controlled shot.
Yes.
If that's a tip, that's a loose ball foul. So they're going to say that he controlled that ball trying to dunk it. So we'll take a look here, Ryan, and see what we got. I mean, this was an incredible, like Inspector Gadget right there going up to get that one.
And Capella misses the free throw. Now, last season, Capella shot at just 36% from the line. This season, Capella at 54%. Big improvement. Obviously, it's still not anything to write home about, but much improved as he misses both here.
He's really worked with John Lucas, former point guard here, terrific player throughout his career, and I saw him before the game out working with John on lifting his shot and making sure he gets himself an arch.
James with a lane. Good movement here. Smith. The entry. James, the flush.
How about now? LeBron started that play and he finished it. That's good passing, but spacing the floor. That's why spacing is so vital in the NBA today. It gives you driving lanes. Spacing and shooting. If you can't do those two things, you're going to have a tough time winning at the elite level.
Harden is trapped, and it is going to be a timeout. Houston is awarded with a timeout with 9 to shoot. Fry obviously upset, thought he had the trap. It's a one-point game. Good action in the fourth. Well, Doug, you've talked about how being unselfish often gets rewarded.
Well, look at the spacing. Everybody behind the three-point line. Drive and kick. Boom. Drive and kick. Drive the closeout. You step up, and the guy who started it finished it.
Cleveland's offense has not been an issue all year, and neither have these two. The MVP candidates putting together some terrific performances tonight. Cavs won the first meeting between these teams. It was all the way back on November 1st. A game in which they outscored Houston 128-120. Harden with a triple.
See how great that play was out of the timeout when you get a little handoff back to James Harden and he knocks down about a 27-foot three-point shot.
Works out nicely. Harden has 32. He is 4 of 11 from deep. Houston is 15 of 38. Cavs are 14 of 34. These are the top 2 three-point shooting teams in the league when it comes to makes and attempts. J.R. Smith with a step back, rolls off Beverly the board. Here's Harden. Full head of steam, floats it up and got hit. And James Harden will go back to the stripe.
You notice how high that Houston sets that screen roll for James Harden. Now you got to make a decision. Are we going to go over it or under it? Look where the screen is. So what's J.R. Smith? He goes under it. Now you got a problem. Because now look where the big guy is. He's backing up. And now you've got him going right to the rim. So they put that out there so far that if you trap it, now he throws that ball to the free throw line. And now you play 4-on-5 the rest, or 4-on-3 the rest of the way. So that's a tough play to cover with that screen being set up so high.
They called that foul on the floor. So Houston just with a side out. 7 to shoot. Harden kicking. Good movement. Gordon off on a 3. Harden whacks the rebound back to Anderson. Another chance for Houston. They have dominated the offensive glass in this game. Beverly pirouetting, fading, can't hit. And Shumpert the rebound after Anderson was chucked aside. Here's James. Thought about pulling up on what would have been about a 30-footer. Now we'll send Shumpert through. Under 7 minutes to play. Williams will fire. And hit.
So you could see him starting to get into a rhythm. I talked about last night in Orlando. He had his best game. 4 for 9, a couple threes. He had 10 points, 4 assists last night.
Capella, center of the lane, no. Harden, yes. And Houston has jumped back in front. 102-101.
Now James Harden got trapped. He gave the ball up. And Cleveland stopped playing. He just beat him to the ball there. You talked about, right, the difference in this game could be the offensive rebounding when it's said and done.
16 lead changes in this contest. James, no. Harden the board and the outlet. Capella on the run. Back-to-back buckets from Houston, and they're back in front by 3.
We see James Harden did not give up on this play. I talked about offensive rebound could be the difference. Little run out by Capella. But if you look at it, Ryan, 45% field goal shooting for Houston, 56 for Cleveland. The difference is 16 to 3 offensive rebounds. 15 more shots because of the turnovers and the second chance opportunities. So you get more shots at the basket, you can shoot a lower percentage. And they also have 13 fast break points. So they're winning the easy scores battle here tonight.
James Harden a rebound away from a triple-double. He has 34 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. He has 15 triple-doubles on the season. Here's James. What a touch pass, but it was knocked away by Beverly. Anderson with Jefferson. He got out there quickly and shouldered him. How about Richard Jefferson? He had 16 first-half points. Hasn't attempted a shot in the second half. 6 of 6 in that first half.
And most of them were in that second quarter where he really shook loose for a couple threes that gave his team a nice lead.
Harden can't hit. Anderson, another offensive rebound for Houston. And Ryan Anderson will go to the stripe.
And I'll make the point once again, this is where they really miss Kevin Love's defensive rebounding.
From March 12th through the 18th, the NBA family is joined together with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to celebrate Hoops for St. Jude Week. Join us in raising awareness for children battling cancer and other deadly diseases. Visit NBAcares.com to learn more. The work they do at St. Jude's is unbelievable. It's such a great, great cause. Houston with a 4-point lead. Cavs are over the limit, so the Rockets now are going to shoot free throws the rest of the way. Meanwhile, Houston with just one team foul thus far in this fourth quarter.
So what's the over and under on how many free throws James Harden will shoot in the last 6 minutes of this game? You think he doesn't know that?
You know he does. Leads the league in free throw attempts and has the last 2 seasons. Irving, pull up. No, and Anderson the rebound. Cavs on a second half of a back-to-back, and Houston looking to close them out. Harden, the lob. Capella denied by Thompson. Then out of bounds, it'll stay with Houston.
I think that's a great point you make. This is now with Cleveland, 5:33 to go. You played last night, you had a flight. Dog days of the season right now. How much you have left in the tank here to try to finish this game?
Harden is short. Beverly, the offensive rebound. He's fouled. And Patrick Beverly will go to the line with Cleveland over the limit.
Long shots, long rebounds. Your guards must get back. Watch where Beverly is. Look where he is. Kyrie Irving does not block him out. He starts ball watching, and Beverly just goes and gets it, and he will get to the line. 19-3 now offensive rebounds, and it's not like they're killing him with the points. They've only got 11-second chance. What they're getting is all these opportunities for multiple shots will eventually wear you down.
Mike D'Antoni had this game pegged right. That was the #1 key he pointed out to us before the game was long rebounds. Thought because these teams shoot so many threes, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for long rebounds that Houston would need to win them, and they have, hence the advantage on the offensive glass.
Well, Houston's had about 3 or 4 really good defensive possessions. Let's see if Cleveland can get a high-quality shot.
James using the Thompson screen, switched on Capella. James gives it up. Shumpert to the corner, Irving. 3 to shoot. Back to Shumpert. 2 to shoot. James has to heave. Does. And hits. A high-quality shot indeed.
Well, that was a nice play by Shumpert. I thought he was going to take it, recognizing he had a little bit more time on the shot clock. Swung it to LeBron.
30 points for James to go with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Ariza, quick first step. Out to Anderson, a deep 3 is off. And inside, a foul against Irving as Patrick Beverly again racing to the loose ball.
The little pit bull gives him a lot of personality. They love him here. These energy plays. He's a nuance and a pest to about 29 other teams. For Houston, he's a guy that gives them a lot of heart and soul. These kind of efforts. Great article today on him in the Houston paper about his AAU team that he supports in Chicago and all that he gives back to that city.
This is the free throw. Well, and one of the things that James Harden always points out about him when people talk about Patrick Beverly's defense, Harden says it's not just his defense, it's the rebounding he gives us at that position, and that has been on display in this game and in these critical moments in the fourth.
To win a championship, you got to have toughness. Got to have toughness on your team, and he brings that.
Houston just 3 of 7 from the line in this fourth, as Beverly has gone 2 of 4 last 2 trips down. Rockets a 4-point lead, 4:35 to go. Thompson, Shumpert, Irving, James, and Jefferson, the 5 for Cleveland. Here's Irving. Switched on Nene. Irving trying to wrap around him, hesitates and banks it in. A wizard using the window.
Well, great defense by Nene because he did cut him off, but he faded off the glass. I mean, sometimes you just got to applaud great players.
Harden, oh, he stayed left and was able to finish, juking Thompson to the rim for 2. 36 for Harden. Under 4 to go, Rockets lead by 4. Nene tried to come up with a steal. Irving gets it back. 6 to shoot. James kicks in the corner. Shumpert, no.
Can you keep James Harden out of the paint? Can you keep him off the free throw line? A switch here. Let's see if he'd look to attack Tristan Thompson. Get on his left hand, make him go right.
Harden attacking and draws the whistle. So the answer, Doug, no.
You know, once again, I want to point out to the people, look how high this screen is. Now you're Tristan Thompson. Now you're on roller skates. Now you're backing up, and you got no chance. You got to get up. If you're gonna play that screen that way, Tristan Thompson has got to get up, and he's got to make James Harden change direction so he doesn't have a straight line to the basket.
James Harden leading the NBA in free throw attempts as he misses the first. If that holds up, he'd become the first player since Shaq back in the late 90s, early 2000s to lead the league in free throw attempts 3 straight seasons.
Well, I can tell you they're not hacking him at the end of the game.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's a great point. Shaq being put on the line by design in those years. Harden goes 1 for 2. Irving sizing up Nene, got clobbered, and Kyrie Irving will now work his way to the line.
So you stop the clock now. Kyrie get to the line, you make a couple, becomes a 3-point game.
His third.
26 free throw attempts in this game for Houston, just 9 for Cleveland.
Well, they average 26 a game, which is #1 in the league, so they're right on their average.
That's right. And Cleveland usually keeps opponents off the line. They are 3rd in opponents' free throw attempts.
See, very seldom they play the kind of teams that you're going to be attacking like Houston does. Houston is going to come at you the whole time, especially Harden. And they're going to put you in a position for that referee to see that contact and to blow the whistle.
There are the free throw numbers. Irving, 22 points. He's 2 of 3 from the line. Hits the second. 4-point game. This contest has had 16 lead changes, 8 ties. We've had 6 fourth quarter lead changes. Cavs led by 14 early in the 3rd. Harden waits for the high screen from Nene. Lob to Ariza. 8 to shoot. Ariza got around James and just blew the bunny. Got it back. Stripped in the corner. It's out of bounds off Cleveland. And 3.6 to shoot for Houston when we get back. 2:53 to go. Rockets lead by 4. Plenty of hustle in this game. Both teams getting after it, trying to lock down a victory. Welcome back to NBA Sunday, presented by State Farm. LeBron James and James Harden both making their MVP cases in this contest as they have all season. Harden a rebound away from his 16th triple-double, and his Rockets have a 4-point lead with 2:53 to go. 3.6 to shoot. Harden will heave around and off. James the rebound. Opportunity for Cleveland.
That's a tough place to inbound that ball with 3.6 seconds to go. Usually get it sideline or underneath the basket, and very tough angle to make a pass.
James, step back, short. Rebound Harden. And Harden has his 16th triple-double of the season. Harden the slide. Nene fights his way inside for 2.
Nene's got great hands. Great hands. Beautiful pass by Harden there. Recognizing they ran in it but trapped him quickly.
Nene now with 12 points, 6 rebounds. Second half of a back-to-back. Does Cleveland have any gas left in the tank? James, denied. Nene comes up with it. Big hustle plays in his second half for Nene.
His numbers aren't going to say it, but Nene's had a brilliant game tonight.
Beverly, you bet! In the corner on a three.
Right, talked about points off turnovers, offensive rebounding. That's the difference.
Well, Houston on an 8-1 run has taken a 9-point lead over the Cavs. The Rockets trying to lock down a victory here against Cleveland. And the activity of Nene all game has been tremendous.
Well, he does a nice job. He slipped the screen when they tried to build a wall there. There's no way that Kyrie could play him in that paint. Here comes Nene once again. High hands, as you're taught, high hands. Deflected, and it's going to lead to a corner three by Patrick Beverly. And Ryder talked about easy scores tonight. Plus 10 points in the paint, the Rockets. Plus 8 second chance. Plus 13 fast break. And plus 9 points off turnovers. Easy scores because the three-point line is even.
16 of 38 for Cleveland. 16 of 44 for Houston. James Harden with his 16th triple-double this season. 37, 10, and 10. And you look at the standings. Cleveland, as they work new players into the rotation, work back some injured players, trying to iron things out and hold on to the 1 seed, with Washington swiftly ascending and Boston playing well as well. And San Antonio, a half game behind Golden State, with Houston right now firmly cemented in the 3 spot. But, you know, the Rockets, when we talk to them, Doug, when anybody around the team talks to them, they feel like they're being left out of the conversation a little bit as far as championship contenders. So games like this, they go a long way to remind people this is a dangerous team.
Well, you know, Daryl Morey, when he went out and got Lou Williams, he said, you know, to beat Golden State, we might have to outscore them. We might have to beat them at the three-point line. What's impressed me about the Rockets tonight, timely defense. At the right time, they've come up with steals. They've come up with deflections. They've owned the boards. And right now, that is the difference in the game. Still plenty of time, almost 2 minutes to go. It's only a 3-possession game. And you know that Cleveland makes 13 threes a game, so still a lot of time, but they need a hoop here.
Houston, 25 assists to just 6 turnovers in this game. James, a 3, they need it, they don't get it. But Thompson keeps it alive. How about Irving in the corner? He got fouled, or a foul underneath. Check the whistle. And Ryan Anderson is called for the loose ball foul. And Houston did have a foul to give. So now that will mean Cleveland will shoot on the next foul against Houston. First foul in the last 2 minutes. Irving with 11 to shoot. Switched on to Nene. Irving separates. Can't hit, not enough on it.
Well, have you seen any easy field goal attempts by Cleveland? Now, they missed a couple open threes there. Beautiful play that Lou had drawn up for LeBron, but they just have not had good looks at the basket here the last 3 minutes of the game.
Beverly in the corner again. 5 to shoot. Beverly off the mark. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last hit Ryan Anderson. They can take a look at this if they want to. Final 2 minutes. Ryan Anderson trying to contend it. Last hit Darren Williams. And the officials will confer and will indeed take a look. And Doug, this is what you're talking about. Houston winning all those easy point categories tonight.
Well, as I said, the three-point line is even. Now, if you even want to throw in there, they're plus 9 at the free throw line. So that's what I always said. When you get in a game like this, to a high-level team, who can find the easiest points in the game? And that's been obviously by that stat, the Rockets.
9-point Rockets edge. Now this is the replay. Looks like it may have last hit the left hand of Ryan Anderson. Williams' hands were there too, but it looked like Anderson poked it out. That was the call on the floor. So you would need incontrovertible evidence to overturn it here.
Incontrovertible?
How about that, huh?
Wow.
You know,
That's got Fordham written all over it.
You know it. That's a Mike Breen word right there.
Yes, yes.
Hey, after we're done here in Houston, stay tuned for SportsCenter. Jay Billis will go co-anchoring tonight with John Butchergross, and he'll pick his NCAA bracket during the show. You do not want to miss that. It's coming up on SportsCenter. So the ball does belong to Cleveland.
Interesting, they took it full court so LeBron could get a full head of steam and attack.
James seeking help in the corner, bounces to Thompson. Under a minute to go, Irving trying to find space, not easy against Beverly. Heaves and hits!
That's one of those, if you're Mike D'Antoni, you miss the shot and the game is over. You make that one, now Cleveland still has life. The life of a coach.
6-point game. Cleveland needs the stop. Harden content to let it run. Anderson putting it on the floor, fading away. No, and Cleveland with an opportunity here. Irving up the floor against pressure, double team, needs help, and a foul against Houston, and that will send Cleveland to the line with Houston over the limit.
Houston foul number 42 today is for personal.
Where the Rockets chase him into a trap. Nene does a good job cutting him off. Beverly comes right in behind. You got two guys going after that basketball. They call a foul, I guess, on Nene there.
That is correct. So it sends Irving to the line. 90% on the season. That's 4th in the NBA.
So strategy here, you make them both. Then you're down 4. And you go for maybe a steal, maybe a trap. And then you've got to take a quick foul. Now you've got to chase the game because you're going to be down 2 possessions.
And Cleveland does not have a timeout remaining. Houston has 2, a full and a 20. Irving hits them both, 4-point game. 20 seconds remaining. Ariza seeking help on the inbound. Harden being fronted, but he gets it. Harden dashing into the front court. Harden all the way to the rim. And he is fouled by Tristan Thompson.
Now I'm a little shocked that James Harden drove that ball into the score because they were going to have to take a foul. What if you get that shot blocked? I mean, obviously this guy's an MVP candidate, but you know, all of a sudden just pull that ball out, they've got to foul you. What if that ball was blocked and now you go out in the open court? I know Cleveland has no timeouts, but I thought that was one where James Harden could have pulled it back. Now he's going to shoot free throws, so it doesn't matter.
Harden misses. James Harden 7 of 11 from the line. You take a look at the NBA leaders in triple-doubles. Obviously, Russell Westbrook has been lapping the field, but James Harden now at 16 thanks to tonight. LeBron James with 9. As Harden hits the second, Cleveland without a timeout, down 5. James storms into the front court, heaves a bomb, can't hit it. Rebound Ariza, that should seal it. Ariza will fling it up court, and Houston outlast Cleveland 117-112 the final in a terrific regular season contest here in Texas. $30 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists in the loss for James. James Harden with 38 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists in the for the Rockets, and James Harden is with our Cassidy Hubbard.
James, your 16th triple-double. How are you able to be so effective against this Cavs team?
Every night I step on the floor, I try to make an impact on both sides of the floor, and so tonight was going to be a tough challenge for us. I think as a group collectively, we did a really good job of knowing the personnel, especially in that second half, locking down defensively, and offensively just being aggressive doing what we do. 16
lead changes in this game. When you hear those MVP chants after a performance like this, what goes through your head?
I mean, I missed a free throw first. No, it feels good, man. We're playing well. We're playing for each other. The city has our back, and honestly, this feels good.
You told me in the last few weeks that you guys have been building the confidence that you can win this thing. What does this win do for that confidence?
It gives us an extremely amount of confidence, especially the last several games we were playing against all teams. And so another good win for us, and we just got to keep our momentum up and keep playing well.
Talk about those top teams. Got a couple injuries to the 2 teams you're chasing.
Yeah.
Ultimately, how would you describe the balance of power in the West?
mean, they're still really good, you know, and so we don't have the luxury of taking nights off. We got to bring it every night. We got to still prove ourselves, and so tonight was a good test for us, and get some rest and be ready to go next game.
Congrats on the win. Ryan?
Well, Houston clinches a playoff spot with their victory tonight, and a Portland loss, and the Rockets a 117-112 win over Cleveland in a game which tied an NBA record with 88 combined three. For our producer, Jonathan Lebovich, director, Rich Basili, Cassidy Hubbard, and Doug Collins, I'm Ryan Rucco. Thanks for watching NBA Sunday on ESPN. The Rockets with a big second half topple Cleveland 117-112 the final. Patrick Beverley providing the dagger. Good night from Houston.